Call the member for McMahon.
Thank you very much, Mr Deputy Speaker. Well, I do congratulate the member for Hasluck for moving this motion, because diabetes is a very serious problem in Australia, and it's a growing one. It is one of the health epidemics, emerging health epidemics we are dealing with in Australia and indeed around the world. And I have particular interest in this matter because my electorate is the diabetes capital of urban Australia, not something we're proud of, not an honour which we seek, but one which we deal with and which we're challenging. The Australian Diabetes Council shows that diabetes rates have actually been increasing in my electorate very dramatically. We have 2,298 people with type 1 diabetes in McMahon and 21,995 people with type 2 diabetes. Now, what's even more concerning than those figures, Mr Deputy Speaker, is the rate of increase. Fairfield, in my electorate, saw diabetes rates increase by 21.2% over the last 5 years. Smithfield, the increase has been 30.37% over 5 years, a 30% increase in the prevalence of diabetes over the last 5 years. Now, diabetes is a serious condition. It can lead to very serious and negative health outcomes. We can see an increase, and we do see an increase in heart disease, in kidney disease, in blindness, in high blood pressure, in dental problems for people suffering diabetes. Now, we can and must do more about this. We can and must do more about it nationally and locally. In my area, I hosted a diabetes awareness forum in Smithfield RSL last April. I was very pleased that Dr Nadia Tajani, who's a lecturer at the University of New South Wales and a consultant endocrinologist at Fairfield Hospital, came to that, as did Kirsten Hazelwood, the Head of Education and Prevention at the Australian Diabetes Council. And we are doing other things. That was a well-attended forum. We're doing other things, mail-outs and developing a diabetes plan for the local area. And Fairfield City Council has a very proactive plan in improving the quality of exercise equipment in our parks to encourage more physical activity. Now, the honourable member Ford, who spoke previously, referred to the importance of preventative health and healthy eating, and he's right. And I said before there are things we can do locally and nationally. Well, we're not doing enough nationally, Madam Deputy Speaker, and in fact we're going backwards. We've seen the 5-star rating program, which was negotiated by my honourable friend, the member for Blair, in office, taken down in quite a scandalous set of arrangements by the Chief of Staff to the Assistant Health Minister. Now, you can't say to people, you've got to take more responsibility for what you eat and what you feed your children, and then take down, hours after it went up on the website, something which was designed by the federal and state and territory governments to assist people to make those decisions. And there is a lot more to be heard about this particular scandal, because it does go to the very heart of the character of this government, that a Chief of Staff with shareholdings in a food lobbying firm was able, on behalf of the Government of Australia, to give that direction with the authority of his minister. Now, I do not intend to belabour political points here in this debate, but this is nothing short of a scandal, and this is an appropriate debate in which to raise this issue, because diabetes is prevalent throughout our nation, particularly prevalent in rural areas with high Indigenous populations, and that is something that we need to deal with, but also, as I said, very prevalent in my area of Western Sydney and growing very rapidly. The other thing we could do is have more emphasis on preventative health, which the honourable member for Ford also referred to, and yet we see this government attacking preventative health, abolishing the Preventative Health Council, again in a very backward step. And the Minister for Health, the member for Dixon, talks about the importance of preventative health and personal responsibility, but then we see this action by the government. Just in the short time remaining, Madam Deputy Speaker, I just want to put on record too, the government needs to tread carefully in relation to the drug Januvia, which is being dealt with by the PBS. Now, I don't intend to provide a prescriptive outcome here, but this is a drug which serves between 80 and 100,000 people. There are moves to delist this. I'm sure the PBS has their reasons for examining this issue, but where you have 80 or 100, between 80 and 100,000 people on this drug, I would urge the government to be very cautious indeed
Members'
about what
time
steps
has
they take.
expired.